Your mind does not know a joke. I'll say it again. Your mind does not understand what? Jokes. Anything that comes out of your mouth that your own ear can hear, it takes seriously. Your mind takes it seriously. So you say, oh, this is you're just joking. You're not just joking. You are molding the blocks of your life by the words of your mouth. So if by chance or by intention you use the wrong words on yourself, it has such an impact, a great impact over you, over your life. Look at what happened to the guy in the testimony. He's joked that only people from a certain place get the job, and he is in the city. But he has jokingly said that only guys from another city get that particular job. And the day he acknowledged it, when the Holy Spirit reminded him that, oh, see what he said now. And then he repented of it. The exact following day, a job he had applied for 5 months ago, that they had overlooked him or didn't even see his mail or something. See, let me tell you something that you need to understand. Life is more spiritual than it is physical. Like I like to say on this show, all things are created twice. First, spiritually, meaning you cannot see it with your physical eyes, right? And then physically. So whatever comes out of your mouth, and listen to me carefully, whatever comes out of your mouth is a reflection of what is going on within your heart, whether it's a joke or not. The reason you're even able to make that joke is because you thought about it. Yes or yes? So when you joke about something that you do not mean and it comes out of your mouth, it is like an egg that has dropped to the floor. And no matter how creative you are, no matter how strong your glue, your gum, your sellotape, your stapler is, you cannot fix that egg back. It has broken and it has broken. Are you listening to me, somebody? Because your mind cannot conceive, cannot differentiate between this one a joke is the joke. And so every time you open your mouth to speak, especially things that concern you, be careful, be intentional. Be careful, but more than being careful, be intentional. If you have listened, if you've been part of this show long enough, you would acknowledge, you would be able to say that, Yemi, you've said this thing over and over and over and over again. But many a times I speak with people during the week, and I see that some people are their own greatest undoing. Let me share a particular person's instance. So someone sent me a message, said, oh, let's have a conversation. I said, okay, I scheduled the time, and then person called in and we had a conversation. And towards the end of our conversation, this person said, I know that this will not be possible, but ma just try. And the moment I heard those words, it felt like it's a female now. It felt like she just poured cold water on my body. And this lady does not understand that she just, by the words of her mouth, killed the potentials, destroyed the potential, the possibilities that this thing she's asking for can have in her life. Because she already believes in her heart that it is not going to be possible. She's just, no. See, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you say with your mouth is what you would experience in your life. You cannot consistently say, I'm a poor man, and expect that you suddenly become a rich man, even if you're working hard. Because you cannot blot out of your mouth what your heart does not believe. So it comes out of the belief in your heart, it comes through your mouth, and it goes back into your mind for processing, for another coming out of your mouth. So there is that cycle. It comes from your heart to your mouth, back to your mind, process it again, come out of your mouth, come. So for this particular lady, when the thing that she needed to do, when we had now gone through it still was not productive, and I wasn't surprised because she had already said she knows it's not going to be possible. She just wants to give it a shot, irrespective. If she has said, I know it's going to be possible and I'm going to give it a shot to make sure it comes to life, that is a different perspective. That is the risk. Hey. See, the words that you speak create expectations that shape your reality. Did you just hear what I said? The words that you speak out of your mouth, the things that you say with your mouth, creates the expectations that shapes your reality. Not only yours, even the things that other people say about you that you hear and accept. They create expectations that shape the reality, meaning what you eventually get, the words that you hear, that you speak, no matter who says it, whether you or someone else, as long as it is said and you hear it and you agree with it, or if it is negative, you don't. See, in medicine, right? The doctors will tell you, oh, this particular drug that we're giving you now is going to have certain effects. This is a research I'm telling you right now. It's going to have certain effect in your body. You feel like this particular way, you feel like this other way, and it's just going to be for a particular time. And when you come back, do you know that there is a medical research that has shown that when people are told they may experience side effects, they are more likely to report that they experience those side effects, even when those side effects that were told to them had no bearing on what is wrong with them. Then the medical researchers realized that the belief of a person influences the healing of the person's body. So they say, oh, you would feel some rumbles in your tummy, when you take this drug in the first few hours. Indeed, even if the drug is just salt that they gave you, right? The fact that you've been told and you believe it and you expect it, when you take that particular thing, you start feeling something in your tummy. Your body responds to your word. You need to understand that. Your body responds to your words. Let me tell you an interesting thing. I'm lactose intolerant, right? And when I take milk, it feels somehow in my body, but I still take milk, irrespective. And many times I forget that I'm lactose intolerant. I just take the milk and nothing happens. But guess what? Some other times when I'm about to take it and I remember that I'm lactose intolerant, the moment I remember and I take that milk, I feel the effect. And it's not that those times when I don't feel it, it's not that it's not there. It's that I do not feel it. It is there, but I did not recognize it. Why? Because it is not within my sphere of recognition. So anything that you say out or someone says about you that you believe and you act on is like a script. So it is not you that you're actually acting out. It is that you are acting out the thing that has been said about you. That is why you tell a child that you are the best, you are the this, you are the that, and the child carries the shoulder high and says, my mommy says I'm this. No matter what they tell that child, no, my mommy says I'm this. The child believes it so much that it becomes his reality, whether he has the capacity for it or not. The words that come out of your mouth and enter your ears. Just like in the medical situation where the words of the doctor shape the physical symptoms that you feel. It's called the nocebo effect. I can tell you what it is. It's called the nocebo effect. When people are told they may experience a particular thing, they are more likely to. And this proves to you that words can produce real physical outcomes. Words can produce real physical outcome. They can. Your words are so potent that the more you say them, it is creation. I've said it before on this show. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you're not just communicating, you are creating. It is creation. So if just that thing didn't exist, by saying it exists. Have you wondered why we're encouraged by Jesus Christ and Bible to pray? You cannot pray without opening your mouth now. You cannot. And every time you open your mouth to say it, as it aligns with the will of God, it comes to pass. You create it. Is somebody with me this morning? You create it. The flip side, still in talking about how your words create your physical experiences, also psychologically. People who write or talk about stressful experiences show little improvements in their psychological and health markers, physical health markers. Are you getting me this one? So when I was saying earlier that when you're a grateful person, it tells me the kind of thing that is in your heart. Because you cannot say out of your mouth what is not in your heart, even if it is a joke. Even if it's a joke. The fact that you are feeling it does not mean you should say it. Did you hear what I just said? The fact that you are feeling that thing that you are feeling that you don't like does not mean you should say it. Because the moment you said it, the moment you say it, you stamped it. Anything you've said is stamped. It doesn't become a creation until it is spoken. God could have been Genesis chapter number 1. Just looked at the whole world after seeing that, oh, it's shapeless, form, no, doesn't have form, it's void, darkness, over everything. And just thought about it in his mind and just look at everything and just look at the waters and the earth will start forming. Yeah, it's possible. He could have done it. He's God, right? But he did not do it. And I've said over and over again that when you see something in the scriptures, it is not just him telling you what he did, he's telling you how it is done so that you can replicate it. So what did he do? He said, let there be light. He could have stated the reality, what he was seeing. He could have stated it. But he did not. Rather, he said, let there be light. Let there be light. So be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Even if it is a joke. Even if it is a joke. Your mind does not recognize jokes. So your mind does not recognize a joke. It just takes anything that comes out of your mouth and it processes it for you. And then what does it do? It gives you the result in your life. I'm going to round this up pretty briefly because, see, I know someone will be saying, but I've been trying this and I've been saying it and it's not working for me. And I would want to take calls this, man. But let's go back to the beginning and see what it said. Genesis chapter number 1 and verse 1. It says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now, created, right? The first thing that was seen as the product of his creation, right, was that the earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters, and the Spirit of God was what? Hovering over the surface of the waters. So there was chaos. Just like in many other areas of your life, you have chaos in your finances, in your health, in your business, in your family. There may be chaos here and there. Maybe not all the time, but once in a while it raises its head. Or for the past 10 years, 20 years, you've been battling a particular thing and it looks like you're not getting out of it. That is a form of chaos. And then what happened in verse 3? What happened in verse 3? It says, then God said, hold on, let's pause. Then God said, then there is referring to after something, right? That means after verse 2, where the earth was formless and empty, where there was darkness covering the deep waters. Then God said, and what did he say? He did not say that the earth was formless and empty. He didn't have to say it again. He had already seen that situation. Rather, he said, let there be light. Let there be light. And there was light. There was light. Let me move further. Let me move faster because I need to bring this to close. So, modern neuroscience has told us that your words can change your brain activity. The words you speak can influence what happens within your head, inside your head, in your brain. Review and neuroscience discussion indicates repeated verbal rehearsals and statements can shape the frontal lobe activity, the neural pathway, and the motor cortex, supporting long-term changes in behavior. Let me read. I just read it out so that you know no be me talking. This is science, medical science, neuroscience. Reviews and neuroscience discussion indicates repeated verbal rehearsals, meaning what you say over and over again, what you say over and over again, and then it goes ahead to say, and statements. Repeated verbal rehearsals and statements, whatsoever you speak, can shape the frontal lobe activity. That's the front part of your brain, right? And the neural pathways and the motor cortex, supporting long-term behavioral changes in you. In other words, the words can shape your expectations can shape your perception and behavior, and repeated perception and behavior can rewire your brain. Did you hear what I just said? Your words can shape your expectation. Your expectation will shape your perception and your behavior, and then your repeated behavior rewires your brain. So you see why, and no shades now. Someone calling, please hang on. I'm going to pick calls right after this conversation, so please hang on, all right? Thank you. I'm not going to throw shade at Nollywood, right? I'm not going to, but I'm going to state the fact. And you would realize that there's some kind of movies that you watch, and then you watch them consistently over a period of time, that you begin to behave at the level like the characters in the movie you are watching, because you have shaped your brain, you've rewired your brain by the thing you've been exposed to. Because when you are exposed to those things, you've heard them over and over and over again, they become like a standard, they become the expectation, they shape your expectation, they become the prism through which you see the world. And when they become the prism through which you see the world, it shapes your perception of the world, it shapes your behavior. And when you do that over time, they shape the way your brain processes things. And when that happens, you continue in that cycle. And that is what your life becomes like. So I've come here this morning to tell you that you should be careful what you say. You should be careful, mindful what you say with your mouth. Proverbs chapter number 18 and verse 21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So the Bible says that our speech carries creative power. Literally, life and death. Literally. Life and death. Are you with me this morning? I need to just a second, let me change my sitting position. Life and death are in the power of your tongue. Literally. So the words, your speech, carries creative power. Matthew chapter number 12 and verse 36 to 37 says, for by your words you'll be justified. By your words you'll be condemned. So whatever you speak either justifies you or condemns you. So you need to understand that your words are not cheap. So someone says words are cheap. See, Oga, your words are not cheap. Your words are the most expensive thing. Spend them wisely, because they carry the weight of your life. In God's economy, everything is in the word. James chapter number 3 and verse 5 to 6 also tells us about the tongue being as little a member, but it boasts of great things. It sets the course of your life. It can set the course of your life on fire. So small words ignite big realities. Small words, which is why is another reason you must run away from small talks, backbiting, gossiping here and there, and all those things that are not productive. Don't engage in them. Not because if you say them you die or something, or you go to hell. It's because they have an effect on your life, albeit an adverse effect. Is somebody with me this morning? Mark chapter number 11 and verse 23 says, whoever says to this mountain, did you hear that? Whoever says to this mountain, be moved, and does not doubt, it will be done for him. Whoever says to this mountain, He could have said, whoever doesn't doubt that this mountain would be moved, then, Oga, yes, you will not doubt it, but you have to say it. If you do not say it, you are not creating it. Don't create it, you can't able to experience it. So your faith-filled words align with an outcome. God often uses your speech as a part of your obedience. So if God says, do this, you must speak it. It's a show of obedience. It's a show of obedience. It's a show of obedience. But you cannot speak it if you don't believe it. That's why Proverbs says in chapter 23, says that a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So your inner belief influences your outer life. Because when you believe it, you speak it, and then you experience it. Yes, it may take time. In fact, it may take a long time. Because many times we counter the things we are saying. You believe something else, you say something else, and then you experience something else. It is rare for what you believe, what you speak, and what you do. I mean, your belief, your words, and your actions. It is rare for those three things to align, and you will not see the miracle if it aligns with God's will for your life. Do you just know what I said? So I encourage you this morning. I encourage you. I plead with you, in fact, to please be careful. Be careful what you say out of your mouth, even when you are joking. Even when you are joking, say only the things that can lift you up, not things that will bring you down. We heard the testimony I shared. I played at the beginning. How the guy had passed every exam required, but he wasn't getting any job interview. He wasn't getting any offer because in his mind, he was joking when he said it's only people from that other city that gets the job in my own city. And then he could count, person 1 came, got the job. Person 2 came, got the job. Person 3. And he wasn't getting the job, and he was in the city. Until the Holy Spirit reminded him, I remember what you had said. There's only guys from that other side that get the job. The same way you're listening to me. Oh, it's only those kind of people that can get the job, or that can make, when you're going to talk, you refer to yourself as a common man, like, oh, it's not meant for people like us. So what is wrong with you that you can't get it? So when you listen to me this man, I'm going to add just a little bit to it, to 5 go this man. And not only what you speak, also what people around you speak. Because if your circle constantly says that you cannot do it, you will never achieve it, you will never do this, watch carefully. You will realize that over time, you will not be able to do it, you will not be able to achieve it, you will not be able to get it. Because the words of the people that are closest to you, because we are an aggregate of the people that are closest to you. Remember the spies that were sent to check out a land, and they came back, and 10 of them had a negative report. But one of them was quick to say, what? Oga, keep quiet. Let us go at once, because we are what? More than able. So when somebody around you is saying something negative about you, something that can pull you down, you do what? You shut the situation up immediately. Stop it. Don't say it. Yes, that's what you believe. Keep it to yourself. My own belief is that I'm a great man, blah, 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 whatever you want to say, and say it right there and there. Neutralize every negative word what I spoken about you. Neutralize it. So I be somebody somewhere now is saying, this thing that you're saying, how can it ordinary way? You don't believe it, right? All right. Try it. Before you say, oh, this thing will not work, experiment it. Commit the next 21 days of your life to speaking only positive words. To speaking only words that will lift you up. The right things about you. The first thing you would experience is that how you feel inside of you will change. How you perceive yourself will change. How you feel about yourself, about things will change. Even if your situation has not changed, right? But how you feel about it, they'll grow in you this knowing, this consciousness, this new renewed belief that no, things will change around for you. In fact, athletes have said it, that self-talk, when they say things that, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to succeed at this, that they tend to perform better on the field than otherwise. I'm going to close with this story and I'm going to get out of the studio because I'll probably pick 1 or 2 calls and go. One of those movies I saw, I can't remember the name of the movie now, but the lady, she had a lot of self-doubt. She could not run the race. It was a marathon or so, or half marathon race. And then she needed a guy. And just looked like it was never going to happen. So what did her coach do? He used her father's, I think it was her father's voice, told the father to record him speaking the right words. Oh, I believe in you. You can do it. Don't get tired now. Keep going, keep going. And then they recorded it in the player and plugged it to the girl's ear. And this same girl that could not achieve it in the past, and as she was running, she was hearing her father tell her, you can do it. Just keep going. You're almost there. This and that. And then she just kept on going. She never looked back. By the time the race will end and she would look, she thinking that she know people now. There are people that are better than her. When she looked back, she realized she was the first position. Just because somebody was speaking the right words into her ears. Just because someone was speaking the right words into her ears. So reframe that joke that you tell. Audit your joke. So if you used to say, I'm broke, jokingly, replace it with, I'm open to provision. So you don't have money, right? But there's a difference between I'm broke and I'm open to provision. Both of them are saying the same thing, but one is a positive way to express it, another one is a negative way to express it. Is somebody getting me this morning? So change what you say. Change it out completely. Completely. In fact, go on a personal challenge. Things like, I'm tired of this, I would never do this, I can't. Remove them from your vocabulary. And say for the next 21 days, or even try for the next 7 days. Now I'm not going to say anything with my mouth that revolves around, I can't do a particular thing, or I'll never be able to achieve a particular thing, or I'm tired of so and so. For each of them, if you need to take a pen and a paper and rewrite it, that where I used to say, I can't do this, change it to, I can do this. Is the girl I just said? Change it. Change it. I pray God helps us in Jesus' name. God helps us to understand what has just been said to us, but beyond just understanding it, to put it in practice. Because what you don't do, you cannot get the best out of. The fact that you know it doesn't change a thing. You must do it for it to give you any significant result. You must do it for it to give you any significant results. So challenge yourself. Even for the next 21 days, just challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. And when you do, send me a message, send me a WhatsApp message or shoot me a DM or something. In fact, at the beginning, carry me along. Let's do it together. I'm not going to say any negative thing out of my mouth about myself. And you see the miracles that will happen.